Caught my sister in bed with my fiancé. Family forgave them, ambushed me at Christmas, and tried to reunite us. So I ghosted them forever and built a new life. Before I dig into the crazy mess, let me give you some backstory. Growing up in a small town outside Milwaukee, I always thought my family was my foundation. We weren't the type of people to leave things unsaid or go months without speaking. My sister Dana and I were close in that competitive two girls under one roof kind of way. She was a year younger than me, and we'd always been compared to each other. She was the charming, free-spirited type while I was the one with a plan. Our brother, Matt, was the baby in our dad's shadow, always soaking up every ounce of attention he could get. Our parents, Chris and Joan, were typical Midwest parents. Dad ran the household with an iron will, and Mom was the type to crack jokes and grill steaks like it was her personal hobby. I thought I had it all figured out. A stable family, siblings I could trust, and a fiancé who I believed was my soulmate. Ethan came into my life during a group project in my junior year at UW-Madison. He had this magnetic energy about him that made you want to be in his orbit. He was ambitious, confident, and ridiculously attractive. I fell for him fast. By the end of the semester, we were a couple. It felt like a whirlwind, but I didn't question it because it seemed perfect. I imagined our future together. Careers, kids, everything. One November, I proposed to him. It wasn't some grand gesture, just the two of us on a crisp autumn evening. He said yes, and we started planning our wedding for the following summer. It felt like the beginning of the life I'd always dreamed of, and then it all imploded. In March, I had a random slow Friday at work. I decided to surprise Ethan with his favorite takeout and spend the evening together. When I walked into our apartment, everything felt off. His shoes were by the door, but the place was eerily quiet except for faint laughter coming from the bedroom. My stomach tightened. Something felt wrong, but I brushed it off thinking maybe he was watching a funny video or on the phone with a friend. When I opened the bedroom door, my world shattered. There they were, Ethan and Dana tangled up in bed. Ethan was wearing the oversized t-shirt I had given him for Valentine's Day, the one with the cheesy heart print. It wasn't hard to put two and two together. They froze, both of them looking like deer in headlights. It's funny how silence can say so much. The air in the room felt heavy, suffocating. Dana, my own sister, had the audacity to say, "It's not what it looks like." I stared at her, almost laughing at the ridiculousness of it. Ethan didn't say a word, just scrambled to cover himself with a blanket, like it would erase what I'd just seen. I didn't yell. I didn't ask questions. What was the point? The evidence was right in front of me. I looked at Ethan and said, "Pack your stuff and get out." My voice was calm, steady. I wasn't about to give them the satisfaction of seeing me lose it. Dana tried to speak something about how it just happened, but I cut her off. "You're dead to me." I wasn't interested in hearing her excuses or fake remorse. There's no "it just happened" when it comes to sleeping with your sister's fiancé. I walked out. I didn't wait for an explanation or a pathetic apology. I grabbed my keys and drove to a friend's house. That night, as I stared at the ceiling, the reality of it all sunk in. My fiancé, the man I planned to marry, and my sister, someone I trusted, had betrayed me in the worst way possible. It wasn't just about the cheating. It was the fact that they'd both actively chosen to destroy something I valued so deeply. The day after I caught Ethan and Dana, I didn't think things could get worse, but, of course, they did. While I was at work, Ethan moved out of the apartment. I'd already told him to pack his stuff and leave, so I figured that was the end of it. But when I came home that evening, there was a note on the counter sitting right where we used to keep a framed picture of us. It was short, but not sweet. He wrote that he fell in love with Dana and never meant to hurt me, followed by some garbage about hoping I could find it in my heart to forgive them. He had the nerve to finish the note with, "I hope you can still be happy for us one day." Happy for them? I wanted to laugh, but it wasn't funny. It was infuriating. I crumpled the note and tossed it in the trash. There was nothing left to say to him. The apartment felt eerily quiet without his stuff, but I didn't care. I wanted him out of my life as fast as possible, and now he was. My family found out what happened within a few days. I didn't tell them. I'm guessing Ethan or Dana spilled the beans. My dad, Chris, called me immediately. He was furious. Not at me, but at Dana. He kept saying how he couldn't believe his own daughter would betray me like that. "She's not welcome here," he said over and over again. At first, it felt good to have him on my side, but I wasn't naive enough to think it would last. My dad's loyalty has always been conditional. He's the type who prides himself on keeping the family together even if it means sweeping massive betrayals under the rug. I figured it was only a matter of time before he started defending Dana. My mom, Joan, was a different story. When I finally answered one of her calls, she didn't say much. She just sighed and said, "Well, I guess things like this happen sometimes." I couldn't believe it. She wasn't angry, upset, or even surprised. She treated it like Dana spilling coffee on my shirt instead of nuking my relationship and my trust in her. Matt, my younger brother, tried to be supportive, but I could tell he was conflicted. He'd call to check on me and say he couldn't believe what Dana and Ethan did, but there was always hesitation in his voice. He was caught between me and the rest of the family, and it was obvious. For weeks, I ignored most of their calls. I didn't have the energy to rehash what happened or hear excuses about why I should let it go. Instead, I threw myself into work. It was the only thing keeping me sane. My boss, Katie, noticed I was putting in extra hours and asked if everything was okay. I didn't tell her the full story, but I admitted I was dealing with some personal stuff. That's when she mentioned the Indianapolis office. Apparently, they'd been struggling to find someone to lead the team there, and Katie thought I'd be a perfect fit. It was a promotion and a chance to get out of Milwaukee, far away from Dana, Ethan, and all the mess they'd created. I didn't hesitate. I told her I was interested. When I told my parents about the relocation, my mom just said, "Good for you. A fresh start might be what you need." My dad, on the other hand, acted like I'd announced I was moving to Mars. He cried and begged me to reconsider. "What about family dinners? What about Christmas? You can't just leave us behind, Anna." I told him I wasn't leaving them behind. I was leaving Dana behind. "She's not part of this family anymore," he said firmly. But I didn't believe him. My dad has a way of saying one thing and doing the exact opposite when it suits him. By July, my gut feeling was proven right. Dana was back in the house. Now comment update to tag you on part 2.